legs.
Exactly.
The FA Cup, anything that's knockout, besides the World Cup or the European Championships or the Copa Americas, you have a group stage in that. Either you do that, but then what's the point of the seeding?
Exactly.
Or what's the point
There's
of the
no
supporter shield? What is it?
There's no point because a team could eat. And you say, what about the NFL? Don't compare soccer to the NFL. Plain and simple. Just don't do it. They're two different sports. With that, with the West first seed in the West hosting all the games, second seed hosting two, you have teams that want to fight. They want to fight for that position because you not want to be that last seed going on the road every single game because that travel is going to take a wear and tear on you and it's going to be tough. Now the only issue is some of those teams need a little compensation. The four team might be on the road every single game. They might be on the road every single game in the playoff. And if that's the case, then they need some sort of compensation. Same with the third seed only hosting one game. So you're going to have to work out the compensation. After that group stage, you go to a knockout. And this is where I changed up from Grand Worlds all day. Even though he did mention this, but this is where I changed it up. And I think this is a lot besides a little wrinkle. You have the first team in the West group playing against the second team in the East group. Get a little cross-conference competition. The East finisher 1 playing against the West finisher 2, and the top finisher from each group host. Then you have the MLS Cup final, which is just the team with the most points, hosts that game. Every single step except for that semifinal game, you have the teams being impacted by the regular season, which puts so much importance on the regular season because you want to be hosting these games. These games are important. You do not want to be that team that's put the play-in game and then the 3 games and then the semifinal and then the cup. That's 6 games. You want to be that team that plays the least amount of games on the road and has the ability to host almost every game. I don't know, Steven. That's just me. That's just my rant. I don't think that teams have an advantage right now, and it's been on my mind for 2 years.
What is it? 10-10. The
knockout teams, yeah. Mm-hmm. 10-10. I can and look. I'll name you the most. The most years were from 2016. The Impact beat the Red Bulls 1-0 first leg. They won the series 3-1. And that the Impact were lower seed. The teams that win are lower seed. The Galaxy beat Colorado, and Colorado had to win. They had to survive on penalties to move on.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Seattle killed FC Dallas in 10 minutes.
Yep.
And destroyed the season. The Montreal won the first leg, and then in the semifinal, TFC had to go to extra time to win the series. How is that easier for these teams? Then you have Seattle. How is it easier for these teams? It doesn't make sense.
2013 lower seed RSL defeats Portland 4-2 in the first leg, won series 5-2.
Exactly. How is it easier for these teams? It doesn't make sense.
No, I mean, I don't know. The thing with MLS playoffs, I mean, it goes back to what we saw with Vancouver, Seattle, where I wasted 180 minutes plus, right? Watching 2 games that were absolutely meaningless and terrible. The thing is, MLS needs to sell a product. How are they? Yeah, I mean, the group stage is interesting, but if you go to a single elimination, they're probably going to open up more playoff seeding. You know that because they need to make up the extra games. My idea, the pots, and Armand hates it. I don't know why. I think it's brilliant.
I hate pots.
It's so awesome. It could be such a show. Like the Champions League group stage draw, it's like a show. It's an hour show on Fox Sports.
Do you think I'm going to sit through an hour long of MLS playoff seeding?
In 20 years, come back. Mark this tape. Jimmy, mark the tape. But I don't know. MLS has to make money. And if you can't get ads or sponsorships to enough games, I don't know. MLS has an issue with its format because it's not working. I think think about it. If you're it's
almost systematically unfair.
Well, think about it. You're at FC Dallas last year. You had 4 days to fly up to Seattle to play a game. I mean, how is that fair? You get rewarded for home field advantage, then you have a short notice. You have no idea where you're flying to. The players
and you let the away team set the tone. That's something I don't understand.
They're hosting the game, so Seattle so happened to win it, the play-in game. Seattle hosts FC Dallas. What? How's that fair? FC Dallas sat on the couch, waited. Seattle's got the momentum going. No, it does not work well. If you change anything, at least change the opportunity for the higher seed to choose. Are they on the home? Are they at home or on the road first? That's where the advantage comes into. So if you're FC Dallas last season, no, you know what? We're going to host the first game. Or you know what? Seattle, we'll fly up to you. Or in this year's case, Toronto could have said, you know what? We want to host Red Bulls first. You know, maybe we try to kill them 3-0. Obviously, with their attacking and just really...
Yeah, exactly. I think there needs to be a way to maximize that home field advantage. I think it blows my mind how it's because people don't talk about this. I don't know why.
Home field advantage actually means something in the regular season because road teams suck. But then you have the road team suddenly be good. But what is it? Houston has like... I marked this on my Twitter feed. Something like how Houston's away record in regular season MLS is like really bad, but in the playoffs it's somewhat decent.
I mean, I guess teams turn it up, but I mean, at the same time, all the pressure shifts to the home team because all the away team needs to do is draw. If in certain instances, all they need to do is draw, like in the Portland game.
Jonathan Yardley, Houston Dynamo road record from 2011 to 17, 119 games, 18 wins. Playoffs, 10 games, 5 wins.
It's mind-blowing.
Mind-boggling.
And like I said, don't underestimate the point that some of the it doesn't make sense. Portland had more pressure than Houston. What? Why? Listen to this. All Houston had to do was get a draw.
Yeah.
Portland had to win. So, how does that make sense?
Hey, that's a good point. Maybe get rid of the away goal.
Get rid of the away goals and maximize the home field advantage for the teams that are higher seed. Let them host all the games. Let the team that frankly struggled in the regular season go on the road. Let them prove their worth. If they can prove it and finish top of the group, guess what? They host the semifinal round. Take a little break. Host semifinal round. Grant Raw has a schedule out, by the way, that I do agree with, that bypasses the international break schedule.
Yeah.
And
yes.
And like I said, I don't agree with Grant Wall on some things, but I did agree with this playoff format he has. And I really think it'd be an interesting change from the common playoff we see right now. I just really hope they don't go single elimination, Steven. I feel like it's just too lucky.
No, single elimination is not going to grow this league. In terms of excitement, it's not like the NFL where there's a progress to the Super Bowl.
It's going to be cagey.
Well, that too, but it's quick. Single elimination is too quick. You need the two-legged series. It's almost a soccer idea to have the two-legged series. I don't think that's going away. Now, the group stage, 8 teams kind of do basically, it's the Confederations Cup. Basically, that's what you do. And maybe you want to put a twist on it.
Yeah.
You make the semifinal round two-legged.
I mean, if you want to, I feel like you could, but I feel like it might extend it a little too long. I think making it that one game, 7 games to make the to win the MLS Cup's a lot.
It is.
That's my thought.
Anyway,
and so before we wrap up, I just want to say I really hope MLS looks at Grant Wall's idea and says that might be a good one. But they need to figure out.
Are they? Because sometimes they got the head somewhere up in the sand or something. They don't pay attention.
Exactly. But they got to figure out how to do the compensation for a 4 seed. They have to figure out a few kinks. If they can figure it out and get this implemented, they need to do it.
They have money.
It's a brilliant idea. It's a good idea.
Yeah. Well, good ideas. Hard to come by in sporting leagues, it feels like. Anyway, listeners, follow us on Twitter, UncSamSoccerPod. Special shout out to Sebastian Salazar, ESPNFC. Check him out. Thursday and Friday, he'll be hosting it. He was on the show. Don't forget that.
Don't forget.
Armand, you can follow him at Armand Kafai, Steven Jodderand. We'll be back next week with some more MLS and U.S. men's national team. Go Switzerland.